Hello and welcome to Hardlight Gaming. We are here today, proudly sponsored by Marvel Strike Force, a free to download game with over 200 heroes. All you have to do is download the game for free by joining our link, and you will be a part of our alliance. You'll get some free goodies, and you'll be directly supporting our channel. We are also proud partners with Dubby. Thank you, Dubby, for partnering with us. Your energy has helped us get through these late night casts, and we really enjoy your energy drinks. And now, live from our new studio, it's a broadcaster, newsman, newsface, Riser.
Hello and good evening, Internet. A welcome from our new news studio here in beautiful Colorado.
I like how it became his news studio in one day. I think it's a studio for everything, and it's his new news studio. Riser really likes to take ownership of things
The
sometimes.
news studio, among other things.
They can't see that.
In today's gaming news, Sega, as you might know from Sonic, published a patent under the title Recording Medium and Information Processing that guide user to utilize plural functions. What that means is they have, I guess, published a patent for something that lets them uh, so essentially when you make purchases in their games or make purchases of their games, it records that and then it ranks you up to certain kind of tiers based on based on how much you've spent, and based on what that tier is, it grants you certain uh like upgrades or assistance in other games of theirs, which is seeming like it's targeted more to mobile games, which Sega is working on a JRPG mobile game at the moment.
Is it a licensed game, or is it just some random thing they're creating?
I believe it's their own game. It's not something I'm familiar with.
Sorry, Roger didn't want to build a studio yesterday, so he didn't have this thing up to snuff, and I already knew there were things that needed to be the right way. That way is not where we want to be. Now, you look at this. Isn't this nice? Now, even if you look this way, you're still looking that way, right? There you go.
That is nice.
Oh, yes, isn't it? It's almost like that thing I suggested about it being like a editor's show, and yeah. Well, that's nice. I mean, albeit that news doesn't excite me all that much. It's not that it's a bad story. It's just that that
I mean, the idea is that it's to incentivize you if you say you're playing one mobile game, something we're very familiar with at the moment. If you've already invested a lot into that one mobile game, it kind of incentivizes you to try maybe another mobile game owned by Sega. And, if say you've like spent like $100 on one mobile game and then they release another mobile game, it's kind of a, you could argue, pay to win type scenario where if you've already spent a lot of money there, then you get things that newer players wouldn't get, or people that don't have access to those kinds of funds.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a tough question because it's I don't know, pay to win is something that applies, I think, a lot more to things like Call of Duty and things. I mean, I guess I say that, I don't remember if I think at some point maybe it had pay to win features, but like maybe more like World of Warcraft or something. But like it's something people genuinely like care about and like enjoy, and like there's people that are able to get to the top tier and people who aren't able to get top tier. But like, and I know this isn't the most popular opinion, but like I personally feel like it's one of those things. I get that not everyone has money, but it also is one of those things where like it's a willingness to spend money. Like, what else do you spend your money on in your hobby time? And it's like, well, I bought a drum kit because I like to drum. And it's like, well, what do you think of Marvel Strike Force? And it's like, I just play it on the side. It's like some random thing I do. There are some people who genuinely love Marvel Strike Force and sit around and play that all day, and they spend money on energy and they spend money on characters, and they do spend a lot of money. And it's not just because they're rich. You know what I mean? It's not just that they are have because not all rich people are just like frivolous. In fact, most rich people aren't frivolous with their money. They usually are pretty good at holding on to their money. That's why they have money. So more often than not, if they're spending that much on a mobile game, it's like they probably like that game. So like, I mean, I don't see necessarily a bad thing with them being rewarded for that. Like, I get that it probably feels pay to win, but like at the same time, if this guy loves Clash of Clans so much that he spent $2,000 on it, then like I mean, it feels like the company's probably pretty thankful to him for it, and like you know what I mean. And I don't know.
It's true. I mean, I don't think it's been. I mean, they've only just made the patent, so of course it hasn't been implemented yet. I don't think, but it. I guess it would kind of depend, what kind of benefits you do get from being like a higher rank, if you will.
You win automatically. Start an online match, you win.
But it would be nice if, if it's a game, say, that has like a certain amount of energy, if you got like more energy a day, like it automatically upgraded you to having some like season pass type.
I was gonna say, I mean that or something where you're not like I don't know. I would think it'd be nice to give you some form of like I don't know. There is something about unique characters though. Like as long as they're not overpowered, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like you know what I mean? Like I think you can still have a cool you know what I mean? It could just be here. Like we see it now. We play Dead by Daylight, and then every once in a while you get attacked by the Demogorgon. Like it's pretty rare we get attacked by one, but like when you do get attacked, it's pretty cool to see a Demogorgon. Like
Right.
I don't find like yeah, I'll admit once in a while, like I'm not jealous. I rarely get jealous about something like that. It's a video game. Like I don't care about that. I get jealous about real things, but like you know what I mean? It's a like a part of you is like, damn, I kind of wish I could get that. But it also does kind of add a certain like, oh man, if I really like this game, I should try to be here for the events and stuff. And like, I know some people do not like that. Some people are like, well, I don't have all the time in the world. Again, for the things that you really care, I know this is so hard for people without motivation to get their head around. If you really care about something, you will find a way to do it.
Right.
This is why so like these are bad relationships, right? And it's like, no, he doesn't want to see me right now. If you love people enough, you'll find a way.
Right. It's aimed more at like the diehard audience that won't miss it.
Right, exactly. Well, and it's like, you know, and it's again, it's and not like I mean, I'm sure there are some people that see it as a punishment, and I guess you could view it that way, but I don't think it's a punishment as much as like a it's just a reminder that like, hey, if you think that looks cool, like come on back, like and maybe check out like during Halloween because we're probably going to be doing something during that, or like
Right.
maybe if you see a big horror movie come out, come check us out and see what's going on. But like, you know, especially with like that game that's kind of ever growing and stuff. I mean, that's kind of why maybe I didn't like Overwatch and stuff, is it felt like the characters don't change very often, and like to the point where you can make songs about like which characters are the meta and which characters are the not meta is
Right.
like doesn't feel fun to play anymore. Like you know, because it's like I know which ones I should be avoiding. I know which people are playing that are going to be cracked when they're those people. Like oh, someone's the monkey guy, they're probably really good because that's like a person who's not he's not like broken in the stats, but he has like a crazy KD ratio, so like he's probably like really sweaty at this game, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like you know what you're looking for. It's pretty easy to tell it. Call of Duty hides it a little better. You can't really tell by guns most of the time. You used to be able to tell with like tack knives and stuff, and you could tell like who was
Yeah, usually there's like prestige indicators that, give you an idea of how
yeah.
how helpful or
I feel like that doesn't apply as much today. I will say one of the I feel like an old man when I say it too. Like I feel like a boomer, but like it really is the age of like everyone gets an award. And like I actually don't even mind that, but it is interesting that like if you even looked at my account on Dead by Daylight, like I have a prestige 14 on people, and it's like, well, this guy must be pretty good. And it's like, no, I just get blood points every time. Like, trust me, I suck. Like, there's no that prestige means nothing on my account. Like, there's no you if you go look at my PlayStation Platinums, that those mean something. Some of them.
right.
I did platinum sound shapes 3 times. You could really cheese it on the PSP. It was the same game, but you played on 3 different platforms. You could totally cheese that platinum. It was great. I'm sorry, he makes that face. What are your platinums? 13?
Pull up my platinums. In other gaming news, to prepare for the release of the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, Microsoft is holding a sweepstakes giveaway for TMNT pizza scented controllers.
That's dope.
They are releasing 4 controllers, one for each of the Ninja Turtles, with a scent diffuser in the shape of a pizza that looks like it attaches to the back of it that smells like pizza.
Does each Ninja Turtle get a different smelling pizza?
It doesn't appear that the pizzas are different. They all seem to be the standard pep.
What a waste. You could have had anchovies. You could have had broccoli. They've had some pretty classic pizzas. In the old 90s cartoon, I'm pretty sure I need a way to just mute him. How does it work that he just gets to blow off my sentence in the middle of a sentence to do a sneeze? I've had quite enough of this production. This is making me sick. This new studio is horrible. Why did I spend all this money on this new studio? Rob, I quit. You're the new mic too. Those footsteps.
Thank goodness Rob sounds just like Dakota.
I'm Rob.
The resemblance is uncanny.
Uncanny. That's me doing my Dakota impression.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah.
Good one, Rob.
Thanks. Yeah, if I don't talk...
Can I just call you Dakota?
I prefer you didn't, but...
Thanks, Dakota.
No. This job is hell.
If you are interested in winning one of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pizza scented controllers...
I am, and you're hiding it.
What?
I am, and you're hiding it. Go!
All it takes is a visit to the Xbox's Twitter and just retweet their sweepstakes thing and follow them.
I don't like how seemingly easy it is.
But unfortunately, this means I can't get my hands on a pizza-scented Xbox controller, or at least like a deliberately pizza-scented Xbox controller. There are plenty of pizza-scented Xbox controllers that I've encountered.
That's true, yes. I was gonna say, I guess we could just make our own. If you go buy an Xbox controller, I'll buy like an assload of Dominoes and just like, I'll cut a hole in the top of all the boxes except for the top one, put it in the top one, so then the stink of all those other pizzas flows through the chimney I've kind of created with all the pizza boxes, and then the pizza stink will infect the controller deep.
Do you think if you saved and sealed your pizza scented diffuser, if that would be like worth money in the future? Do you think that would be a collector's item?
Yeah, everything's a collector's item. Are you kidding? Just hold on to anything, especially if you don't use it. Yeah, that's the big one. If you're like, I got the old pizza diffuser, but it ain't got that pizza reek, no one's gonna care. If you say
thing starts.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I knew a cat when I was younger, like younger. I'm talking like kid younger, and he used to never use any. He'd never play with any of his toys. He'd never play like any of his Christmas gifts. He'd get Christmas gifts and he'd never open them. And like you go over to his house and he'd just have all these toys packaged. Like he'd have all these, like it was like all Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. And you'd always ask him like, "Do you want to play with those?" And he'd go, "No, they're gonna be worth something." And I was always like, well, I want to play with toys, but all right. But then he ended up like, I'm pretty sure he ended up like before he was going to college, he sold all of them. And then that's what he used to buy his first small business, was like how much he made from all the old 90s.
Wow.
Like Ninja Turtles and Captain America and G.I. Joe and like all the stuff that was hadn't been unpackaged or anything. And for some reason, he just had the foresight at whatever age he was then to realize, oh, this is going to be worth.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm in.
If he's flipping them, then that all paid off.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what you say. It's hoarding. It may have been hoarding there for like 20 years.
It's hoarding until you sell them.
I think hoarding is probably defined as, I don't want to get too problematic, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone that has it, because that's not the point of this. But I imagine it's when you start hoarding things that are not healthy for you. People who hoard a lot of toys, I'm sure it's like, yeah, maybe you have a collecting issue, but like as soon as you're leaving like dead animals and stuff in your house, it's like this has now become a clinical thing where like we got to get you some help because like you can't have dead animals in your house. And,
Yeah. To paraphrase a wise man named John Hodgman, the difference between a hoard and a collection is a place to display it.
I mean, maybe depends on what you're. I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, it's like depends on what you're hoarding or what you're collecting. Like I'll admit some of the collections I've seen in my day are like it's hard to put into words what I'm looking at. Like because and it's like you can't be too mad at them either because you understand that it's not exactly easy to display. So like I guess the best example I have is either like coins or newspapers. Like the coins are like you can't leave them loose. So they have to be in those big display case things.
Right.
So they take up like a ton of table space, and they could be mounted on the walls, but like for the most part, you probably have drawers full of them. And then newspapers, because you've probably been collecting them every day, and you're just waiting to see if one of them ends up being an important one. Because like again, there could be some local kid that was in the newspaper that ends up becoming a famous serial killer. Now you have the newspaper from when Ted Bundy was the, you know what I mean? This is not me making up my own thing. This is
Right.
people I've seen that collect these things, and like that's their ideas. Again, I knew a lady that had like a newspaper for when Ronald Reagan became president. She was an older lady, so she had like all this like old ones. She had like day JFK got shot, like really like notable newspaper days, and like of course that's probably worth even more now because newspapers are like almost completely phased out. So
Right.
anyone's who's even slightly interested in like printed press stuff, like the JFK assassination one is probably worth a lot to a lot of people. Like not just print collectors,
Right.
conspiracy collectors are probably interested. You know what I mean? There's probably a
So
lot of
fragile too.
yes, well, and that's why. So most time you find them just in like basements and colder rooms in just stacks. Like they're just in these huge. Because again, they're newspapers.
Yeah.
It's not like you may choose one or two that you display somewhere, but like the rest are just in these huge, huge piles. And to anyone who doesn't know what you're doing with them, even if you explain them, sometimes it's like, what in the world am I looking at in here? It's like I know it just looks like a bunch of garbage because technically it is just a bunch of garbage. Like
Right.
at the end of the day, until someone gives that worth, it is a bunch of garbage.
Like it's both a bunch of garbage, but it's also like a chronicle of like every day from the last however many years.
Right, which is like again, it's amazing to think that the internet, when it started, the guy that made it, his idea wasn't like, hey, let's find a way to put like mobile games. None of that stuff existed yet. I don't mean just mobile games, games in general. Like that wasn't like something people were like trying to get their hands on, but information something we've been trying to like pass to people forever. And like his idea was essentially, what if there was a giant file cabinet that everyone in the world could access, so we could all put information in it, and then everyone could access it whenever they wanted. And like, yeah, look what it turned in now. But like, that's exactly why the newspaper's falling out. Is you don't need to have rooms full of paper that show you what the news said 2 weeks ago. The internet can help us now, and there are online places where it'll forever be there, so we don't need to sit there and search for years on end. Like there's a search engine that can find certain words and be like, what are you looking for? Like, it's JFK died. But of course now once you have that kind of stuff, it does take some of the worth away, right? Because it's like, well, I can't really sell the internet. I can't sell a piece of it. Well, I guess we won't get into that conversation, but that's the conversation around NFTs and things, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like a whole new market of like, can you sell the internet? Can you sell real estate on the internet in a way? It's a little above my pay grade talking about it, but it's an interesting conversation maybe for a different day.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely something I feel like I have a better understanding of it now. When I first someone described it to me, I was lost. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I thought that's some like I don't even know. I don't know what you just said to me. That was bonkers.
And I couldn't even pretend to understand it, but the way I kind of interpret it is basically like stocks, but for a picture of a monkey.
I thought of it as more of a. I didn't think it was stocks. That's maybe I misinterpreted it, but I thought it was more like essentially like Eventually, everything in the world will be owned. Like every piece of item will be owned, but like the internet is full of unowned things right now. So if you truly want to have something of worth, nothing out here can have worth anymore because like even if you hold on to that table forever, they're going to manufacture 900 new tables by the time you decide to get rid of that coffee table, and even then, who were you going to sell it to be, you know what I mean? Like not many things in your life right now have resell. Most things in your life are meant to die and for you to buy more like as a constant expenditure. So it's like, oh, I guess I thought it was a way to like invest in the internet so that like when you bought that thing, you were buying the creative license to something. So it was like buying the Mona Lisa or buying those things. So right now it may not be worth much, but if that were to get picked up by a company and you're the person that owns it, you theoretically are sitting on top of something worth a lot of money. And like as it's been explained by a few NFT people that I've seen now that have said like just because you copy and paste an NFT doesn't mean you own it. Like you can still go through
Right.
like very much legal action and stuff. If someone does own an NFT, they can like sue you for using it in places that you're not allowed to, and like it's interesting. It's a I don't know. It's an interesting concept. It's definitely it's a new age of things. It's definitely something that makes me like more hyper aware of my money surroundings and like what exactly like the worth of items are.
And would you say that the NFT is the dollar bill to Bitcoin?
Yes,
You heard it here,
apt.
first. You heard you
Here,
first heard it. You heard it.
you heard it here first, foes. Let's get moving. Any other news stories you got for me over there?
I do not.
I figured we'd give a Sunday update. Sunday we built the new studio. That was what we did yesterday while we were not on camera. The studio got built. We got our dubby in, so we've been trying dubby on live streams, and we've been enjoying that quite a bit. It's been very tasty. We've been getting the essentially the desk came in, so we got the studio built, but we wanted to keep sort of a relaxed feel in this place, so we tried to keep the couch in frame. I moved this chair so that I guess I'm not on screen, which is not really a problem. I would have been down in the back anyway, but I want the eyes to be more this way, which I think will just do better. So then a lot of R&D, and this is just the first 50% of the build. So our internet might still be a little choppy and there might still be a few things that don't look good, but you may have noticed the camera is much more high quality. You can see Riser's little face just beautifully now. It is still a little small. I tried to zoom in so that he would be more visible. I tried to make it so everyone could see everyone better. And there's like a chair now, and like there's two monitors. If you could see it from our side, it's quite fancy.
My co-anchor loves the chair.
The little baby, little kitty just can't get enough of that chair. She is like, Riser was trying to take her off of it earlier, and she is just refusing. She was like gripping into it, like no, like she really loves sitting in the chair. She the one thing that I will say is probably the oddest part of the chair is that I guess, oh little baby, I love you. The it came with a pillow that it calls a racing pillow. The racing pillow, it has a USB plug-in, and when you plug it in, it just vibrates. Not like it'll like I mean, maybe it's supposed to be massage, but it just goes. So like I think it's meant to like emulate being in a car. Like it's supposed to feel like the engine's like puttering behind you.
Right. Well, it's got a cord and everything. Does that hook into like a controller or something?
Well, that's the thing that's weird because the plug that's on it is a USB. But now that you mention that, when you unplug it, no, but that'd be so short. You'd have to have the pillow like at the end of it, like hanging down. Never mind. I thought I had a good idea, and I was like, wait, maybe it does plug in. It does have like a audio jack. Like maybe it plugs into the bottom of the controller, but I don't think that cord's long enough. It would be, yeah. But it's a good idea. It's something to test. So, if you notice any hiccups or any weird things tonight, I do apologize. This is our first stream since the new studio has been built, so this is all new to me. We're still getting everything kind of set up, making sure our audio sounds crisp and good. So, If there's any tips, feel free to chat them. If you're enjoying the stream, feel free to chat them. And if you're seeing this video afterwards, thank you so much for watching our videos. We really appreciate you guys, and it's been really awesome getting to meet you guys on YouTube and Twitch and Patreon, and it feels like we're getting to start a whole new family over here. So thank you guys so much, and I think we'll jump into our games for the day.
If you're watching, thank you so much for the support.
Yeah.
No comment. Why does your fuel last so much longer than my fuel? You've been dinking around for the last, like, half hour, and your fuel's just like... Oh, was I on?
Excuse me, dinking around. I've been finding all the collectibles. I've been getting mad stats. How's everyone liking the new camera angles?
I like the new camera angle.
I'm glad you like it. I'm enjoying it myself. I kind of like seeing something good. I've got another computer screen here. We've got another computer screen here, so I can operate and do lots of things at once.
Camera looks very nice as well.
Thank you. Maybe I will make a little cardboard cutout of my face to go behind the TV so that when you're gaming and talking to the live cast, you'll have a little me to talk to all the time. Hi, little cat. So we have high hopes for Jedi working today. The respawn logo doesn't seem to glitch in anymore, which seems like a pretty big get.
It was a little choppy there.
Yar, gonna be a good sail. This is a good ship. I actually saw it leak last summer. Okay, First Mates Riser, so like when I say spirits up, you could see how I don't want all the negative in. I don't need any of that, actually. I could do with none of the negative and all of the positive.
Billionaires be on the sub, like...
Is there not a grace point somewhere around here? I could have swore there was.
Elden Ring really had the save points figured out. Like a little beacon of hope.
True. There's one over there. So, recontinuing from last time, essentially, we were glitching out, so we didn't make it all the way through, but we were in the Jedi music temple. We were working our way through there. Then it was breaking down on us, so we had to stop. But this is where we are. I came back here because I wanted to try and use some aesthetic stuff, and then as I tried the aesthetic stuff, the game crashed. And then I was like, oh man, what's going on? So I reinstalled it, and I haven't retried it since then, but I'm not all that interested too. Our blaster and our thing are gold, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, we got a golden gun. That's all that matters.
Nice.
So, catch up from last time as we catch up back on our just rerunning here. We got through the Jedi music temple and got the special power inside. So now we have air dash. So we can get across the places that have wind.
Blasted you back.
Typical. Auto blaster buddies.
Oh, great. It's just me then.
Okay. That was just a shortcut back there that we've unlocked. Now we continue past the Wind Temple. Oh, nice. I should have unlocked that shortcut sooner so I didn't have to keep running up that stuff. Whoa, whoa. Air dash.
Backhand.
I would like to see a Star Wars spin-off series that's not set in the normal like
Wrong button for dash. I was haha. Sorry, you keep talking. I literally did the dash for Rogue Legacy.
oh
Did the double jump and I pressed R2. Keep going.
I would like to see a Star Wars series that's not set in like the Imperial like Star Wars, which I now that I say it out loud is a little bit ironic that like it's what the series is named after, but I've seen enough I've seen enough of the Empire, I've seen enough of the Jedi. I want to see like a non-affiliated group of Force users.
I think we've all been waiting for an ET2.
Hmm.
I mean, you could literally make it a Star Wars movie. Wouldn't that blow everyone's mind if it was a Star Wars franchise movie?
That would be cool, yeah.
ET's plan is being subjected to genocide from the Ewok High Council. They're bad in this part of the universe. Ewoks rule the world, and Jabba's are the weak little furry guys.
Rogue 2 Extraterrestrial.
Ooh. Interesting that you went for another rogue.
Yeah, well, I want it to be like a gritty war movie.
You do? You do want it to be that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't find Rogue One to be a very gritty war movie.
Star Wars movie, so they probably weren't looking to make it a gritty, I think that's what they were intending was for it to supposed to have that look, but like,
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying about Rogue One, and I feel like they all just parroted it from somewhere else that they heard it.
yeah, I also feel like, I mean, definitely after time, I feel like Rogue One and Solo are probably two of the worst received Star Wars movies. Like even the people that don't like Rey still like have parts they kind of liked about the newer ones. Whereas like I feel like I don't hear anyone say positives about Solo or Rogue One.
I really enjoyed uh, the the seventh movie, but it kind of felt like I don't know. After that, they just fumbled it, which I understand it was like different directors and all that, but
Yeah. Also, it's hard to, at some point it's hard to keep coming up with ideas that keep, it's a bad part about making your characters get stronger and stronger is that if they are to face opposition at any point, you then have to keep making your opposition stronger and stronger. So at some point, it's like you have Palpatine doing this like crazy like spaghetti lightning in the sky. It's because it's like, well, if you think about it, it was just the natural progression. There weren't a lot of other places for it to go.
right.
Now my lightning's red.
And the thing that made the originals good was that the Force was still kind of subtle.
Yeah,
You still had Palpatine like blasting people with lightning, and that was kind of like his display of power.
yeah. I mean, I like the idea that it was like lightning was kind of an evil thing. So like, it's not that Jedi's couldn't do it. It's just that like they probably hadn't trained to learn how to zap someone to death with lightning.
Right.
Glad we found this before the Empire could.
We could also kind of think that like maybe he was sapping energy from like the Death Star to blast him with.
Yeah, you also get some pretty established lightning users though, and that it's like a dark side ability, not just some like random. He wasn't just like channeling lightning. Like that's like a specifically dark side ability. And again, I think it's comes back to the idea that like you know, it's not even just like a moral thing of them not doing it. It's kind of the whole idea of the Jedi teachings, right? Is like they don't learn those things. That's what makes you an outsider. That's what makes you a Sith. Is that you were told not to try and reincarnate the dead, but you still did it. Like they know they can do that. They choose not to do it because it would be morally wrong and not
Right.
okay to do those things. And Sith don't see it that way. They see it as them wasting their power and not
Sanctuary should prove a
doing
worthy
the things they
location
should be
for the
doing, rather. Which, of course,
Proximity
always
to the
leads to bad
archive is
things.
ideal.
They're bad people. So,
And with a bit of
you know,
your
the things they want in life are not healthy
this
things, which
temple
makes you
can
wonder
once again
if a
provide
Jedi was
a
nice enough.
haven for those who need it most.
Would they be able to help the world? I mean,
What if a Jedi only used their Force lightning to like power generators?
I love how he turned them into maintenance workers. Yeah, my Jedis are so cool. I love when they're service employees. Like, no, I want him to be a Jedi Knight still. I don't want
The
power
ultimate maintenance
generator.
workers.
No, I don't want to watch a power generator. Boring. Unless he's powering a generator where he's also like throwing stormtroopers into a giant generator, like, you know?
What if he's turning a big wheel while he's using his Force lightning?
Turning a big wheel. It's like he's like, I'll raise the stakes for you. What if there's a big wheel? No points.
All set, BD?
Let's practice with our double saber a little bit. I don't use it enough.
Pilgrim Sanctuary has some new caretakers. That sentry droid could be trouble.
Seems to be running pretty well this time.
Yes. The curse.
No.
He just can't help himself sometimes, I swear. How was your work day? What did you do at your job today? Tell us of this.
You know, I did a little bit of the work. I played a little bit of Marvel Strike Force.
Nice. Who's your fave? Who's your fave hero?
I mean, you gotta love the Spider-Man, the classic Spider-Man, your Miles Morales, your Spider-Punk.
Spider-Punk is cool. I like Spider-Punk. No, it's me.
Soldier. The witches are dead and gone. Just like Jedi.
They're not dead and gone. You guys are actively being. I love that, like, okay, I get that, like, there's, like, you know, in feudal Japan with Ghost of Tsushima, it's like, you know, there's a rumor there's a ghost that kills people in these woods. It was like 17, it's like 15, whatever. It was 14. I don't even know. Edo era Japan's like 12. I don't even know. That's old. That's like old era Japan.
Right.
So you can kind of believe that, like, maybe someone doesn't get enough information through and they thought they did kill Jin. So, like, the fact that Jin Sakai's around, people are like,
Right.
no, he's not. And they're like, no, the ghost walks. And it's like, what the
It's
hell?
also like feudal era, like you threw a guy off a bridge, off a cliff.
And lit him on fire. Like, yeah, like, or you
Right.
shot him with arrows and attacked him. Like, they didn't light him on fire. That was the other guy. But still, like,
Right. He was presumed dead like twice.
3 times, I think, by the time you're finished, is like the presumption is that you've been killed 3 times. But this guy just goes, I'm just worried about the ghost of the desert. And he goes, witches are dead and so are the Jedi. You are currently being attacked by one of these quote-unquote witches, which is the lady that we're with, and a Jedi. You're
Right.
losing team members. You're being told by forces, the Jedi is here. And he's like, we don't believe in ghost stories. This isn't a ghost story, brother. Like, I'm trying to tell you that that is real. Do you remember when that Jedi chopped our friend's head off the other day? Yeah, I do. That wasn't a ghost story, right? Remember when me and you were both there and he chopped his head off in front of us? We were like, oh my god.
With his laser sword.
And then that weird, like, sassy witch lady that he was with was all like, eat it, punk. And I was like, punk. And then she ran away. And I was like, did the witch call me a punk? Like, what a weird, insulting term to call me.
Sweet little animals being cute.
Stab in the back. Why, brother? Why are you running? Whoa. Drop kick! Wow, you get killed by a drop kick. Isn't that a disappointing way to die?
A Jedi drop kick. Think
That's
of
good.
how far you could drop kick somebody from.
Probably a decent amount away.
You remember when Count Dooku or I think Count Dooku and Palpatine both do the like little lunge screw attack. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
think it's him and Yoda, but are you just saying in different instances they do that?
In two instances, they both do that. I think in
Correct.
the third movie, Palpatine does it when they're like fronting him. And two, I'm pretty sure it's Dooku that does it when he's fighting at some point.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you meant at the same time, because if you meant at the same time, Dooku and Yoda both do it at each other at the same time when they're fighting that weird ball where Yoda like picks up the big rock,
Yeah,
which picks up the big rock. I think that's one of those like weird examples of where like how strong is Yoda again? Like his powers are really hard to define. It's also weird that he's supposed to be like I mean again, it's one of those things that you can't really be like
Sound good?
sassy about it because it was such old canon. It was before they really had started to, you can't really take anything from the first three movies as canon, in my opinion. I don't think George Lucas really intended for it to, he thought those were the last three and that's how it was going to end. So I don't think he ever intended for there to be more of this going on. But, like, it really establishes, like, especially in the later films, that, like, there is a certain breach of, like, power with Force users. Like, yeah, there are Force users that like, it's not like they're not everywhere, but like some are like serious business and some are just good at like the reason Padawans are training is in the hopes that they can become as like half as strong as the people that are around them. Like Darth Vader is so strong that he can like I'm trying to like think of examples, but like for example, Rey can stop a ship in midair. Darth Vader stops a destroyer, if I'm correct, in Rogue One. Isn't that like a full on like one of the big ships that he grabs from the back and stops in midair?
I think so.
But like
Yeah.
Yoda's supposed to be one of the strongest Force users in all of like Star Wars, and he can barely lift that ship out of the water. It's like, but again, it was before they established canon. But if you really want to take it as canon, it does make you question what exactly the strength level of Yoda is, because he is supposed to be really old and wise and strong, but he also is forced is doesn't appear to be anywhere near as strong as anyone else's. Like there are people who like Luke force projects himself to another location to have a full on like physical battle with Kylo Ren.
They really upped the ante in those.
Well, and that's it. Not even just in those though. I mean, that's the thing in any of the canon. Yoda seems a little out of it. Like you could go even just to the prequels and you start seeing people doing like things that are like whoa. But then like Yoda's still struggling. Like Dooku breaks that rock off and it falls, and he's like holding it. Remember, he's like really struggling to keep it up. Palpatine, when they're inside that lecture hall, is throwing those platforms like frisbees.
Right.
Like, and it just gives you like some perspective. Like maybe Yoda's not that strong. Like Palpatine is clearly meant to be like one of the big dogs. Like he's not to be trifled with. Like in terms of Force users, Palpatine really is like the top of the top. Like there is no messing with him. And Luke is clearly meant to be of like all the Skywalker genes seem to be of some stronger bloodline. Like that seems to be their thing.
Well, I think I would imagine it was kind of structured so that you would see Darth Vader like force choking someone, and it's like, oh wow, this guy's like strong and intimidating, and then you see like Luke could maybe, well, I guess he didn't do much of anything until Yoda taught him, but Yoda was just barely capable of like lifting a ship out of the water, which is like greatly impressive when you consider that like Darth Vader was lifting people.
Right. But again, that's why like then you even just go further the prequels though. I don't even think it was the newer movies that messed it up. I think it's like those the prequels started establishing some like pretty intense force abilities. That like, I mean again the jumping. The one that I hear a lot of people mention that I agree is weird, but I feel like doesn't come back a lot is the super speed. in that first scene when they're first get attacked by the robots, they do this like super dash that gets them out of the way of the bullets, and it's like it like happens maybe like one other time in the series, but it like never comes up again. And
Yeah.
like do Jedi's move at light speed? I didn't. It's cool. That seems a little too OP. You know what I mean? Now we're getting into a territory. It's like, okay, what can Jedi's do exactly? Now I feel like I want to. I feel like everyone always gets on my ass. They think I'm the guy that ruins the party because I want to know answers. But I just want to understand my stories better. It's not anything against it. I just want to like I don't understand like a certain ability or like again it takes away from a certain amount of enjoyment in the game
But they'll find
or a
the payout
movie
eventually.
when you don't have a great
Let's get
reference
moving.
point for like what people do. Like I love that Kylo Ren is so strong, and then like it starts off in like one of his first establishing shots that he like stops a blaster bullet, which was like really cool. I remember the first like I wasn't even like crazy about those movies, but I thought that part was like you hadn't really seen anyone do that yet, and like
Right.
but it also establishes that like maybe he's not just like a simple force user either. Like this guy's like because he's like he holds it the whole time he's like talking, and then as he's leaving he just lets it go. Like he like clearly is either so concentrated with the force that he can do that, or like
No sign
he's so strong that he
David
doesn't
yet.
need to be concentrated on that at the same time. Like he's truly like a pretty strong force user. But then like it seems like everyone else is pretty equal with him the rest of the movie, and it's like, oh, so can Ray be stopping bullets as well? And like, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get a grip on who is the stronger one, not because I think one should win, but like a story of overcoming is only a story of overcoming if you overcome someone. Like if the whole time you think Kylo and Rey are the same strength, it's not an overcoming story because she didn't have to overcome someone who's the same strength as her. You know what I mean? That's what makes Luke so endearing is that he's fighting against Darth Vader, the strongest of the strong. That's what makes Cal endearing is he's also going against Darth Vader. Like he has no right to fight him. That was what made the ending of the last game so great when he goes up to Darth Vader and he's like, "Should I run?" And I think Darth Vader like nods yes or something. Like even Darth Vader's like, "You're way in over your head here, kid." Like, and the one that I used to like that I feel like no one ever really gives enough credit to is Star Killer from the Force Unleashed game. I thought he was actually a pretty cool character. He has kind of an interesting arc with Darth Vader. He's supposed to be like Darth Vader's apprentice. You never really get a perspective on Darth Vader's apprentice in any of the movies or anything.
Right.
I kind of like I don't know. I wouldn't have minded to have seen more of him. And then his game was kind of like the only reason I really remember liking it is that it was on the Wii and it had force controls, so you could like pick people up and you could throw them off into the air. And I thought that was awesome. As a kid, that's all I did. My dad was probably just walking by thinking, "Oh Jesus!" I'm just sitting there picking guys up, throwing them off the edge, picking them up, reload a save, pick a guy up, throw him off the edge. That's thinking, "All right, all right." So he's not okay.
Shadow has joined us.
Ah, Shadow, welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing today? I have upgraded to the chair. I've upgraded to the webcam. We don't have our new computer here yet. The new computer will be here, I believe, by the end of the month. So then our video will be far less choppy. We'll get to see everything nice and clean. It'll be directly hooked up to the internet, and we'll have a full-on gaming PC at that point. So we'll be able to jump in on PC games with you guys as well if you have any games that you want to play with us. Whoa, okay, I got up there, but it doesn't seem like it was like maybe I got up there too early. What was the point of getting up there? Oh, they're just supposed to get on him? This doesn't feel right. Ah. Okay. I'm doing so good, Shadow. Thank you for asking. It's been a real good day. Everything's been going good on my side here. Sorry if I'm a little delayed on chat. Riser has the computer now, so he's a little more in charge of that while I play games. But I'm doing very well. It's good seeing you here today. We're so happy to have the new setup going. We're happy to have things finally like a proper desk and a proper, webcam that looks nice and can be zoomed and stuff. that was honestly one of my biggest issues that I was running with on the old setup, because like yes, the internet was a problem because everything's been running through a tablet, so the internet hasn't been like really that stellar. It's all going through Wi-Fi, so it gets a little choppy at times. But honestly, I was that Wi or the webcam was bugging me because it was an integrated one, so it was built into the tablet. So I couldn't zoom it, and then if I tried to get near it, it was like you had to like lean at it, and it didn't look very professional.
Shadow says, no, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a process. It's getting to this point was just how it goes. We had to we got a new keyboard, and yeah, the setup is pretty neat. I'll probably share a picture or two once it's completely done onto our Discord so people can see it. Took us a little bit getting the furniture figured out, but I think it's looking pretty good. It's nice doing the it's good now having partnerships and sponsorships, and it just feels like we're right on the right track to how things should be. Energy.
Doesn't sound good.
I didn't like when the
This
game
place won't
crashed.
hold long.
Shadow says, I'm waiting on my Wi-Fi to quit having a mental breakdown at the moment.
Oh, that's no good. We had a my like we have Xfinity, and Xfinity has like a text assistant that's supposed to like let you know when things are going down. And it texted me like a week ago and was like, "Hey, we're doing service in your area this Tuesday, so like just keep your eyes out." And I was like, "Word." And then like I don't know, probably 3 days later, it was like, "Hey, by the way, we're not doing service in your area this week, so we'll keep you updated when you're doing it." And I was like, "All right." And I sent me another text for another week, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then they sent me exactly the same text. They said, "Hey, we're not gonna be able to make it this week, but we'll let you know when we are gonna make it." And it's like, guys, just let me know. Like you don't need to tell me when you're not coming. I'm just if anything, the problem now is I just keep waiting for like one day my internet's just we're gonna be in the middle of a stream and it's just gonna boom and I'll go, "What is happening?" And I'll get a text. They'll be like, "Hey, by the way, we're doing work in your area today." And I'll go, "What?" Smooth move, Stormy boy. There you go.
Look what we found.
Look what we found. I do want to jump on top of that guy, but I don't want to do it from that position. I wonder if they'll jump up here.
Wow, you really sniped those guys.
That was the plan.
I think you're gonna, like, one-shot them.
They're just regular, like, gun troopers.
Still. I thought the pistol was, like, for stunning.
Stunning, no. It's for murder. Out of ammo.
Oh, the Leia's gone into hunt mode.
Crazy Kitty mode has activated. I need 2 cc's of fun on this side of the table.
Empire still has no idea what's under their noses, but they'll find the safe house eventually. Let's keep moving.
Making good progress here. You have a storm running through town. Yeah, that'll do it. We've actually been a lot stormier here in Colorado than I'm used to. These past few weeks have been like unbelievably rainy.
No sign of Pat's safe house yet.
It might be rainy currently.
Yeah, it was raining a little bit earlier when I was taking out some trash.
I think it's forecasted to rain tomorrow, too.
Good. Out here in Colorado, it gets pretty dry, so it's good to have.
I see him.
Oh, big boy, knocking down those. I didn't acknowledge the Thresher boy the first time he came through, but I did see him. He's really tearing this place up. And we have to fall down here, which is interesting. Again, admittedly, it did seem like it did not love that. Okay, maybe that is what it meant for me to do. I need to just not sit here where it needs to load this guy's huge arm while I fell in a hole.
Just in here.
Okay. Sorry, Echo, I can't risk trying to get you while that arm's doing its freaky thing. It already didn't like me once for doing that. Gentlemen, you do not seem concerned at all that there's a giant drilling robot, like, currently consuming the place we are inside of. That concern you guys?
They're just wondering how to get out.
They were just chit-chatting. That's why I'm concerned. They were all just sitting around, like, looking at each other, like, it was crazy, right?
Buddy, stem.
Wrong button. Need to activate that. You and me. I swear, they said it the last time I think we were live casting, but I don't know which stormtroopers I like better. The stormtroopers, they get all panicky and they're like, no, 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 and they like get all worried that you're about to attack them, or the like way overly cocky ones that have seemingly no reason to be as cocky as they are, and they're like, just you and me, and you're thinking, I don't think I'd ever say that to a Jedi, but yeah.
That's like the dude that saw Finn with the lightsaber and he was like, traitor! Oh, the big shock baton thing.
Right. I always love that, like, for some reason, it seems like every movie director and anyone who does anything Star Wars over the past however long is just convinced that, like, the equivalent of fighting a light sword would be electricity when it absolutely would not be. So it's like every time you see these guys that like go up against him, it's like, oh, this guy's the guy that's meant to fight Jedi's, and it's like, and he's got an electricity staff, and it's like, it still would not. It's made of pure light. Like I can't advocate enough.
Right.
Like while electricity is strong, it is not.
It's like you're fighting a plasma cutter with a taser.
Right, yeah, it's not like they're just two completely different things.
Starting to think we're in the right place. What do you think?
It certainly looks like a right place. I don't know what these big things are, like big force keys or something. Hmm. Ah, there's some. Oh, can't get it over to that one. There's another one here. Type here. Yeah. Give her a little. Thank you. Hmm. But there's no little strappy thing on this side? Hmm? Right.
The anchorites will want to see this.
Huh. All right. These things are confusing. All right. So there. Oh, I can go further now. Interesting. Okay, so then we want to start to pull this and then pull this. Like that. Because then that'll drop that one back, and then both of these. Boom. Boom. Got it. Oh, the game crashed.
Oh,
Couldn't handle that puzzle solving ability.
I don't know what you did, but you did it.
Apparently.
Too good.
Too good I did that. We'll give it 2 more crashes, and then we'll switch games for the night. 2 more game crashes. I thought the reinstall would help the problem, but it didn't. Okay.
And that's why they call it Respawn Entertainment.
Because you have to restart the game all the time. Is that not cool? Do you not like restarting your games, kid?
By Electronic Arts, because games are more of an art than a science.
Yeah, more of an interpretive thing, right? It's more about, like, can you create a conversation? Like, it's not just about being happy. Can you create an art piece that makes people angry? Because that's also art.
Programming's not about the program, it's about the process.
It's about seeing your guys' reaction to what I put out, good or bad.
The real game was the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You get mad at him. You say, you made a game that was so busted I could barely even play it. And he goes, but how many friends have you made hating on Star Wars? And you go, well, I guess me and my friends like to make fun of it. Yeah. And he goes, you're welcome. Well,
Yowza.
I just killed that guy's friend in front of him, and he's just still.
Clearly not his friend.
Well, that's fair.
Oh my god, Rick just got sniped. That's hilarious.
You get real good at rerunning these places, though. Okay.
Interesting.
You afraid?
I was just curious if they're gonna come up here after me.
In the beginning.
Oh, he lost track of me.
Nothing, damn it. Organ, him.
Luckily, he hit himself with that rocket too.
Here. Hey, BD.
Oh, got whapped on the head. I got whapped.
I wish you could take their cool, like, electricity weapons.
Lame.
Well, I was just curious. There was a latch point there. I was wondering why it was there. You know?
Who is he waving to?
I think the guy with the turret blaster over here.
Really crushing it, taking these guys out.
What's that?
It's really crushing it, taking these guys out.
Thank you.
Ghost of Dagobah.
Where was my guy from?
He was from like a junkyard playing it, taking apart bits and all that.
Braca?
I guess he wasn't necessarily from there because he was like a Padawan and everything.
That's true. Home is where I put my head down. Aim at him, you bastard.
Home is where you can take it down.
That's also true. And that's why the woods are my home.
Did we scare you?
No, did I scare you?
That's all. Moving back. And head. Up. Back now.
Oh. Pulling a real Godric on me. That little wind up is so slow. Have you been playing any new fun games, Shadow? We were playing some new games we got over the live stream, and they were pretty fun. Played something called Viewfinder that's pretty cool. It's like a picture puzzle game that was pretty neat.
I'm excited to play more Viewfinder.
Finish that off next Saturday.
Yeah.
Or this Saturday, rather.
Stream's worth.
What?
Probably another stream's worth. I think I'm only about halfway on it.
I'm always looking for games for Rezer to play on Saturdays.
I know everybody is just dying to see more Park Beyond.
Everyone's excited for that Park Beyond.
I recently downloaded a Victorian garden pack.
Wow. Yeah. Don't get us too excited. You wouldn't believe how many emails I get on a daily basis. They're like, please, where's the Park Beyond? And I go, I know.
You wouldn't believe how many of those are from me.
Which they're all from his burner accounts. He never doesn't put Chris Reiser on it though, which is the problem. So I always know it's him. But I don't let him know I know it's him. I just respond and pretend that I actually couldn't do the series. I go, yep, we'll get on it as soon as possible. I go, Reiser, another fan.
Going down. Up, back. Back.
You guys are faster. Oh.
I am him. Help me kill you.
Empire still has no idea what's under their noses, but they'll find the safe house eventually.
Elden Ring still got me
Let's
holding
keep
no to
moving.
run.
Such an awkward run button.
What?
Such an awkward run button. So cursed.
No sign of path.
Fine with
yet.
it's fine with the scheme that it runs with.
What is this, Red Dead? Where I tap O to run?
I would say there are far worse run mechanics. In particular, one of my least favorites.
I see him, bud.
Why are you guys hunting the Jedi? Have you considered that you're probably not doing the right thing?
No. They coming. I got you.
No, I'm not affiliated with Jedi. I just have a lightsaber and use the Force.
I mean, again, I feel like I would get killed just because I would be using a lightsaber. Like, again, I think you'd be hard pressed to stop me from using one. They'd be like, Jedi, and I'd be like, guys, how many times have we been through this? Not a Jedi. Just your cool friend Tony with his awesome lightsaber.
Little help, BD.
Swim, swim, swim. Okay.
Starting to think we're in the right place. What do you think?
My bad. Didn't lift quite high enough.
Okay.
Be great to find a save point.
So what'd you find?
Well, Freaky BD loves scanning dead bodies. Every time we get near some dead people, he's like, I'll be right back. Like, calm down, brother. I have a feeling I have to get these echoes.
Everyone, this way.
Are you coming with us?
Yeah. Like, why don't people
See
do
that?
that more?
See your Junda sent me.
Mr. Junda, you use the Force, you're Cal Kestis.
Time to go. The Empire's closing in.
Yes. Which is why this must make it back to Master Junda. These contact codes cannot fall into the hands of the Empire.
Oh. Sorry, brother. That didn't look fun at all.
Kyle, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone and he's got whomped into a pancake by that robot. Are you kidding? I like that Cal had to be told that.
Quickly. Protect you.
Use your
Go.
witch magic to like make him not squished.
You know how you repair things? You repair him?
Hold this forever. Go.
What? I've been able to dash through green laser gates this entire oh my god. Oh no, never mind. That's the thing she just gave me. I was thinking, has that been the thing I've been... And we had a save point? You have no idea how much that makes me happy. Like, truly. Because then if we crash, I at least start there again. That makes me much happier. Man, fabulous. Hi, Mara. It's good to see you again. What do you think of this horrifically big... I love that it has, like, bandit blades on the front. Like, the rest of it looks like a saw, and then there's, like, these giant, like, twisted metal blades on the front of it. Yeah, but it's also a badass war machine. What? Ah! No. Oh, whoa, that is pretty cool. It resets my force staff, and I hit those green things and gives me the Jedi flip. Bam. Let's get moving, homies. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, Marin, do your best not to die. This thing's shooting a lot of lasers. Whoa. Force flip. Jump it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
See your way back in.
Then let's hurry.
That would have been a rough way to go, Cal Kestis.
Patch me up.
We should not take Goku's path to Seer's base.
It's another route. There's a lot of it.
From here.
Oh, I feel like caught that guy's grenade. Oh, but I also should go back up real quick. There was a force crystal, I think, through a green gate. See? That's the way.
Our friend is back.
Oh, good.
Another save point? Oh, no. Get some more force skills. I've been going heavy into the lightsaber skills. That increases my slow timing, which is good. Precision evade. We'll see how that one goes.
We need to keep moving.
Riser's gonna say goodbye.
Good night, lovely viewers. I must go to bed for work tomorrow.
You don't stand in the gap.
Oh,
Nice work, Jedi.
You too, Desert Ghost.
you shivved that guy in the chest, Marin. Pretty, like, you know, you're very not Jedi, you know what I mean? It's all good. I like that you're you, and it's good. Times like these, I'm happy to have a blaster. Got him back with his rocket. I had a bad feeling he was gonna hit me with that. Nice.
No idea what they were about to find.
They must never learn that the classroom's here. That's fine.
Sure, a lot of them.
Good work, Jedi.
Thanks, Marin.
We make a stand?
Do you trust me?
Of course. What are you up to?
No time to explain. Do you trust me?
Yes. Was that for luck?
No. For me. Jump through, Cal! Now!
I can't believe this.
Believe it! Well done!
Force flying. Super steady.
No kidding. This thing's gotta have a weakness.
R2D2 got nothing on this little droid. He's never been through this kind of business. Oh, I don't know if I want to be on the robot. Oh, ow.
Nice one, Cal!
Don't take me yet.
This is definitely the coolest part of the game so far. Oh, lordy.
Can't keep this up.
I have an idea, but I need an opening.
Nowhere left to run.
Then we stand together.
Now or never. One last jump. It's a big one.
I bind.
Here we go.
How did you do that?
A ritual I learned when I returned to Dathomir. It is...
That's pretty good.
You okay?
I am fine.